Hi everyone, I'm Alex here, and today I'm going to run through a new series for 2024. So we are going to run through as much as possible all the developments that's going to launch in this year. So to start off today, we will run through first Hillhaven because the preview will be on 6th of January. So in this series, we are not just going to run through and tell you what are the projects that you can actually buy and what are the projects that you do not want to buy, because I believe in every single development, if you look at all the history, most of the development there will be profitable and some of the unprofitable units. So in this series, we are just going to go through with you what are the units that you want to focus on, and in terms of the layout itself, which are the ones that will have a better potential. And of course, if you are buying for own stay, maybe you want to look at other things like which one will have more of an unblocked view, and which one will have things like, in terms of Hillhaven, there will be fins that will be blocking your view. So this is not just a series for you to look at and see that which are the properties that you can buy or not. It's more of a series that you can run through and do your studies and make a decision based on your own likings. Okay, so without further ado, we'll start with Hillhaven. So Hillhaven is a 2-tower development that is 341 units. So I will write a bit bigger for you to see. And there's 2 towers. One is 27 story and one is 28 story. So the expected TOP will be the year of 2027, which is Q3 2027. So these are some of the basic information. And the two developers are C3 House and Far East Organization. So Far East will be leading the main sales process. So this is located in Hillview Rise. So where is this exactly? You can see from here, this is the location map. This is actually Hillhaven, and it's actually quite near to the Hillview MRT. I'm not going to go into details of the location itself, but if you realize this is a locality that you have a lot of greeneries. Later I'm going to go through what are the main factors about all these things. So about 400 meters to the Hillview MRT, so approximately about 4 to 5 minutes walk. Then there's other malls that's nearby. The nearest is actually Hillview 2. It's about 100 meters away. Real Mall, Helium Mall, this all you definitely need to drive. So if you're talking about walking distance, it's only Hillview 2. So why am I showing this? Because there's a sheltered walkway to the Hillview MRT, which is important, because if it's not sheltered, then when it's raining, you can't really use. Okay? And these are all the schools that is nearby. Why is this important? This is actually information for all of you to understand. Or if I want to buy in this location, what are the schools that I will be considering? Because I would say a few things. First thing, a lot of parents will be buying houses because of the schools. So you must know within one click to 2 click, what are the schools nearby. Secondly, when you want to sell, schools are also some of the important factors. Why? Because schools drive up demand. But definitely I've done some research, and research has shown that near schools doesn't mean that you will have a higher profit. But I would dare to say near schools will be easier for you to dispose in future because there will be more demand. Okay? Next, right across Hillview 2, which is just now what I showed you, 100 meters away, some of the shops there. I've been there. There is some, Starbucks, Burger King, all this, but it's not a huge mall. So it's good for you to get some necessity that you need, but definitely not a place that you can do all the shoppings. So if you want to do shoppings, will be at Helium Mall, Junction 10, Bukit Panjang Plaza, which is also driving distance away. Real Mall will be more for food itself. So why am I talking about the greenery just now? So Upper Bukit Timah has most greenery in Singapore, 20 hectares of nature. So why is this important? Because first thing, I've spoke to a lot of my clients, and a lot of them like to stay in Bukit Timah area. They tell me one reason. They tell me that the temperature in Bukit Timah is about 1 degree lower than the rest of the Singapore, because there's a lot of greenery there. And in fact, most important is that if we talk about own stay, you will say that, got greenery, lower temperature, I feel better. But if we talk about investment value, in Singapore, we have not seen that yet, but I've seen the trend moving towards that direction. Western country, those properties that is near the green belt are usually higher in prices, because humans are moving more towards nature. If you realize, you can go to Thomson area, you go to Bukit Timah MRT area, you go to East Coast area, you go to even Lakeside area, you will see a lot of people cycling there, running, jogging with families. These are very common sights in today's situation. So Singaporeans are also moving towards a more healthy lifestyle situation. And in fact, I've seen properties that is near to nature, near to places where weekends the family can spend time together. These places usually have higher potential gain. And the fact is that if they are near these places and they are not near MRT, the prices sometimes will be slightly lower because it's not easy to sell in launch time, but in resale time it's different. So why am I saying that? Near greens is very important when you are selling in resale, not when you are selling during launch. Because launch, everybody view the property based on, I see the site plan, I see the location map. They usually decide whether it's good or bad based on whether I'm near MRT. They don't decide whether it's good or bad when I'm near to nature. But in resale, different. Resale, I go down and feel the location itself. So when I see that, this is a nice place, this is a very relaxing place, and all these things will make me want to move into this area. When talk about resale, a lot of people are more emotional. So buying near greens are definitely something that is important. Of course, a lot of people are talking about buying near MRT. I would say if you have both, that would be a good choice. So in Hillhaven, you have both. So these are some of the nature park around. Dairy Farm Nature Park, Chestnut Nature Park, Zhenhua, Bukit Batok. You are near all the greens in the surrounding itself. So a quiet, exclusive, private enclave area, and most of the condos around this Hillview region is mostly 20 years old and above. There's only a few condos that just TOP recently. One of them is actually Midwood. So now coming to the site plan itself, I'm going straight into the site plan and into the floor plan. I'm not going to talk too much about why Hillview is good or whichever, because I believe everybody would have done your own research also. I'm going to go through this, in fact, for those buyers who are thinking to whether I should buy Hillhaven and whether should I buy a 2, 3 or 4 bedroom. This will be a very good video for you to actually run through what are the key factors that you want to take note. So if you look at here, there's 2 sides to the 2 blocks and 2 sides to it itself. One side is facing the pool, which is here. The other side is facing the unblocked view. So the pool side, something to take note, there is a car park below. So the car park will end at 4th floor. So which means that anything below the 4th floor, you will face right into a car park. Of course, developer is very thoughtful. They have done up some greeneries along the car park side, but you still face the car park. You cannot take away that fact. So 5th floor onwards will be ideal, all the way to 12th floor. Because 13 onwards, there will be the fin. For Hillview side, there is a lot of condos. If you see on the higher floor level, they have some things that will block your view because you can't actually see through because there's a cam or something like that around that area that they don't allow you to go and see. So those that is above 13th floor, usually you will be very blocked view. So the best ideal unit is 5th to 12th floor for this facing. North facing will be 5th to 12th floor ideal. South facing, all will be open. But because of the unblocked view here, I think south facing will definitely have a higher chance to be priced much higher. So all these things will be determined on the launch day because they have not released the price yet. But this is based on our analysis. So in terms of the unit type distribution, you can see from here, the 2 bedroom actually take up 53% of the whole development, and the 3 bedroom is 30%, 4 bedroom is about 15 to 16%. Okay, so you can see mainly is all 2 bedroom, which means that if you want to buy, you also need to be very careful in terms of whether I will be able to sell in future because there's so many buyers. There's so many units that is available in Hillhaven itself. A lot of buyers actually ask me, hey, if I buy 4 bedroom, will there be buyers in future? So we also need to consider certain things because I'm thinking whether there will be future buyer buying from me. But I also need to see how many units is available. So if there's 16%, which means that in total there's only 54 units and it's break into different types. Which also means that I just take an example, maybe 5% of the 4 bedroom owner, because mostly 4 bedroom owners buy for the state. So 5% of them want to sell. So which means that there's only maybe 3 units on sale at one point of time, which means it's definitely easy to let go. Why? Because properties is always demand and supply. I cannot decide on the demand because we do not know 5 years, 10 years down the road how is the demand like. I can only predict the demand. Why I say that? Like if it's near green, more people will want a 4 bedroom. I can predict in that manner. But I cannot predict that there will be more buyers for 4 bedroom in that sense. But I can definitely decide on the supply, which means that I already know how many supplies come in. So we are going to go through all these factors also, but main thing to determine, always look at the supply, because supply is something that is fixed. It's not going to change. So supply very important. I see supply super important. So 2 bedroom, a lot, but you can see it break into different types. So later I will share with you more. So now I'm going straight into the 2 bedroom layout. So there is these 2, 6, 7, 8 square feet. You can see second to 12th floor, second to 12th floor. So because 13th floor and above layout actually is the same, it's just that there's fin there. So they will use different floor plans. Okay, so you can see this 2, 6, 7, 8, B1B, B1A is in fact almost the same, just is opposite direction. And they are facing where? Here, this one and this one. So side by side, they are both facing the pool side, which means this high chance can be the cheaper unit because this is the north side. In terms of per square foot, I'm not saying in terms of quantum. Later we are going to do the calculation. So in terms of per square foot, a very good chance they are going to be the cheaper unit. Okay, next, this is the 700 square feet. So you can see 700 square feet is here and here. So which is on 2 different blocks. And they are all facing the south side, which means that they will be more pricey. Now we go back again. You see the north, this one 6, 7, 8, and the 700. Actually both look almost similar. You can see from here. So 700, which is facing the south side, for 6, 7, 8 is facing the north. So you can see the only difference is that 700 have a slightly smaller kitchen, but it's easier to do an enclosed kitchen because there's no DB box. The rest of the layout is almost similar. Maybe some small things that we can't really see. Like maybe the bathroom slightly bigger or the bedroom slightly bigger, but if we put it across, which means that in a resale property when you go in, you definitely high chance cannot feel the differences. So these two is like almost the same as it is. This one I will label as what? So the 6, 7, 8 and 700 square feet will be in the same category of the same supply. Okay, this one is important because let's for example, this one got 50 units. This one got another 50 units. So total got 100 units of 6, 7, 8 and 700. Let's say 10% of the units is for sale. There will be 10 units in the market. And in these 10 units, buyer cannot differentiate what is the difference. They will feel the same. Because when they walk in, they feel the same. So when they walk in and feel the same, they will label it as the same type of supply. So they don't care whether it's 6, 7, 8 or 700. Most important in resale is how, when they walk in, how they feel. So these two types will be together as one supply. Next, we have the 721. Okay, which is the more typical type of layout. If you look at the differences between the 721 and the 678, 678 and 700 is a dumbbell layout, which means I come in, the room is on one side and one side. Both sides. So it saves a lot of space in terms of the walkway, everything. 721 is the more typical type of 2 bedroom, which means that the bedrooms are all in one side, which give you more privacy. So I talked to a lot of buyers. Some of them like the dumbbell. Some of them still like this type of typical layout because they feel dumbbell one don't have privacy. And this 721 is actually facing the north side also. So if you look at this, and you can look at this chart here, based on the 53.38%, 53.38% of the 2 bedroom in the whole development. So 27 units only, 27. So only 27 units of 721 square feet versus 134 minus 27, which is 107. 107 will be this part. So which means if you are a 2 bedroom owners, let's say today I buy a Hillhaven 2 bedroom. Next time I want to sell. If you buy this type of layout, 721, you will have 26 competitors in future. But if you are buying the 700 or 678 square feet, you have 106 competitors. So that's why I say supply is important. So this layout is quite rare in the whole development because there's only 27 units. And if let's say some owners want to keep for rental, some of the owners want to keep for own stay, you might have only a handful of units for sale. But if the buyers only want the 700 or 678 square feet, they will have plenty to choose. When they have plenty to choose, they will press the price down. So for this 721, I would definitely say is easier to sell. Okay, I'm not saying that 721 layout is better than the 678 or 700. It's just solely because there is lesser supply. So less supply, easier to dispose. So next, we are moving towards the 721 and the 797. So what is these two differences? So 797 come with an additional study. And if you see very clearly, 797 got a few important factors. First, kitchen got window. Second, the toilet both got window. Third, even the study will have window. So which means what? Most of the developments for 2-bedroom today, usually the kitchen will be very, very dark if you don't online. Which means during daytime, 10 a.m., you still need online. But for this unit, because the kitchen there's window, there will be sunlight coming in also, which is very important. Second, sometimes kitchen got window will give you chance to have open fire cooker hood. Because without window, BCA ruling, you can't have open fire. The toilets will have window, will have natural ventilation. Sometimes a lot of buyers come to me, they say, oh, I go and buy this unit, then there is no window. There will be moldy in the kitchen itself. It's very true. So why am I talking about all these things here? Because these are the things that some of you might feel that it's not so important. But I would say in resale property, when you sell, these are all the small details that buyers are looking for. And you must understand one very important thing. In the new development era, I'm not talking about those very old development. All those that is launched in recent years, to have these 3 windows are extremely rare. And this one have a window in the study, which means that this can work as a real proper study. The study is really quite small. So without window is even worse. So I think this is quite a perfect layout for 797. Facing, one of them that is facing the north side also. So there's 2 stacks for 797. If you do these 2 comparison, end of the day is due to the prices. So for myself, if let's say because this 721 square feet versus 797, this one definitely is a better choice. Not because of supply here, because of the configuration is hands down better than 721. But it will come down to the price that you are going to buy. So what price should we be buying? Okay, so this one we will run through a bit later. So 797, you can see more clearly here. 2 windows, all the things are a bit clearer. And this is the facing itself. Okay, so now I'm going to do some calculation for you. So let's say 721 square feet. Multiply by 2,000 per square foot first. Because we have no indication of the price yet. So for this one will be how much? Let me do a calculation for you. It will be 1.442 million. 797, let's say same thing. Multiply by 2,000. It will be 1.594 million. So there's a difference of 152k. So how do we determine whether should we be buying based on this 152k? Because this 2 plus study is not just plus 1 study, because some of the layout is between the 2-bedroom and 2 plus study. The 2 plus study only have additional study, and they will actually charge you maybe about 150 to 200,000 more. But for this development itself, the difference between the 2 and 2 plus study is there is the additional window, all these things that is vital when you are selling in resale market. So I would definitely feel that 152 is still a good margin that you can go for. But there will be a chance that it's going to be like the 721 left with the lower floor unit, which is the 1.442. And the 797 are left with all the higher floor unit. Maybe is cheapest is 1.65 million. Okay, so the difference is about maybe $210,000. My personal opinion, if the gap doesn't exceed 220,000, or let's say max up to 250, if the gap doesn't exceed that, 797 will be a good choice. But if not, then go for the 721. So in fact, when you're doing your balloting that day, you can look at all this data to make your decision itself. Next, so this is the same, the 797, but there's 2 sides. This is facing, this is more to the other side. These 2, I would say the pricing will be somewhat similar. Okay, and this we are moving on to the 3-bedroom itself. So there's a few types of 3-bedroom. Bear with me. C1, C2. So 947 and 958. So what is the main difference between these two? 958 will come with a study room, and 958 have a bedroom that is on the right side of the living. So this one is personal preference. I wouldn't say is this a better layout or not, because some buyers would like layouts that have another room on the right side or the left side, which means the rooms are separated. Why? Because maybe they are living with their parents or they are living with their kids. Some of them want a bit of privacy. They would prefer to have that. But the main difference between these two is a study room. So 958 and 947, you can see very clearly that 947 come with a enclosed kitchen, right? But the kitchen is tucked in one corner. 958 come with a enclosed kitchen, but this whole piece is a glass panel. So the advantage will be more towards the 958 because of this. Why? Because the kitchen will be brighter. It will feel that the whole kitchen will be part of the living room. Because when you're standing inside, when you view outside, the whole thing will be like as one piece. Second thing, you can see why 958 can be just 11 square feet bigger, but they can build a study, all these things. It's because they do not have a long walkway. But yet, the walkway, there is a DB box here, which means that it will still have privacy in terms of the unit. 947, even though you have a longer walkway, but you still have no privacy. So preference will be 958 if you have a budget to play around with. But of course, same thing, what are the units that is available in the end of the day? And bear in mind, all these units that I mentioned, because this side is facing the north, must remember 5th to 12th is the ideal tag. Because if you buy higher, you pay more, but you will be blocked. If you buy lower, you'll face the car park. So that's the fact about this whole situation. Then now we go to the 1012. Okay, two layout, both facing the south side. So the bigger units, most of the bigger units are facing the more premium facing. But you can see from these two, what is the main difference? One is a full study area. One is a study with a WC. Okay, so which is better? I can't tell you. Choose the C3 or C4. Why? Because some buyers prefer bigger study. Some buyers prefer WC. Why? Because there is buyers who have maid. Some of them do not like their maid to use their own toilet, so they will need the WC just for the maid itself. But some of the buyers don't mind. So that's why I say there's demand for these two. And the most important fact is that both units only have one stacks. So the supply is quite little. Okay, now we are moving into the 4-bedroom itself. So 3-bedroom, just do a summary. 3-bedroom, which one will I be choosing? I'll be mainly focusing on the 958 because I think there will be a lot of value for money. Size wise is okay. Everything is in place, except if you look at this, the difference between the 958 and 1012 is 1012 have a slightly bigger kitchen and bigger study. So the rest of the things are almost similar. So 958 will be the main choice of units. Next will be the 1012, depending on which one you prefer. Then the 947 will be the last choice. Okay. Later on, I'm going to do a summary of all the units. So lastly is the 4-bedroom. You can see from here. These are the two main different layout that we are talking about, both facing the same direction, which just now what I mentioned, the bigger units are all facing the premium facing. But what is the main difference between these two? They both have the same type of configuration, which means that there will be a junior master, okay, which is important for 4-bedroom. Why? Because 4-bedroom, there's a lot of buyers that's high chance staying with their parents or their kids are grown up, they need a room of their own, they need a privacy, so they will need a junior master. Okay, so both have, so these two qualify. The main difference, where is it? Is on the kitchen and the living room and the balcony area, because the rest of the space are almost similar. So now we will see 1259, 1378. The difference is about 119 square feet. So 119 square feet, which is quite a significant difference, which means that even if I take a $2,000 per square foot, this will be about 240k easily. But I don't think that it will be just 2,000 for this side. It might be higher. It's a straight 240,000 more for a difference in just the living room. But which one would I prefer? In this situation, if you look at this, I'm going to go through the floor plan as per if you are a buyer walking in. Because for 4 bedrooms, most of the buyers actually come in, they buy based on whether they like, they feel good, all these things. They don't buy based on whether it's value for money. So in this 4 bedroom, you can see from here, if you are the buyer, you come in from here, your view of the unit is this side. So if you look at this and you go back, you look at the 3 bedroom, is what? It's the same view. Which means that even if this buyer just go and see a 3 bedroom, then come to a 4 bedroom, they will feel, this 4 bedroom same size. So when their brain is functioning in this manner, they will not feel that this is value for that kind of money. That's first impression. Plus, the kitchen is hidden in this side. So, which means that the kitchen will not be viewed as part of the living room itself. But now we look at this 1378. You can see from here, the buyer will come in here. Their view is where? Their view is this whole thing. So it's almost double the size. Can you see? Because this is all open. This kitchen side, this side is all open up. Which means that it will be catered into. This is the whole living area. The first impression is this is a huge house. The brain will function in this manner. And definitely this will be more favor. Why am I talking about all these things here? Because 4 bedroom in Hillhaven is high chance own stay buyer. There won't be a lot of investors coming in to say, I want to buy a 4 bedroom for investment in future. So I need to understand who I'm selling to in future. Here, 4 bedroom, I'm definitely selling to own stay buyer. And bear in mind, just now when I start, there's only 15% of units that is on the 4 bedroom side, which means that there's very little units in the market itself. So if you ask me, even if this costs you, I would say 300,000 and above, which means that this one will cost 300,000 more than this, I will still choose 1378. Even 350,000, I might still choose 1378. If I go to 1259, let's say the 137 and went beyond the price that we are looking for, I might downsize to the 1012. Because I think that the 1259, the only difference between the 1259 and 1012 is a bedroom with junior master. The living room size is the same, everything is the same. I would not pay that kind of money. But if you have a budget that you want to play with and you need a 4 bedroom and you can only buy a 1259, then I leave the choice to you. But I can only tell you, end of the day, the 1378 will have a higher chance to make more profit in future. Okay, now, so this is a price matrix, but I'm just going to run through a summary with you in terms of the whole development itself. So just now I went through quite a number of floor plans. If you are definitely looking to try your luck to buy something here, you need to set a plan for yourself when you're going in. Okay, so like I say, 2 bedroom, 3 and 4. So what are the choice unit that I will be looking at? So 2 bedroom, the first choice is the 797 square feet. Okay, facing pool, 5th to 12th floor. First choice. Okay. Of course, if there is left with 2 bedroom that is facing the south side and you're buying for own stay, I leave the choice to you. You want a good view, you want a definitely wonderful view, you're willing to pay a bit more, that is up to you. But I will set a limit, like difference between a 5th floor facing the pool and a 5th floor facing the block. Let's say 100,000 difference might be the max that I'm willing to go. Anything more, I think is a bit too much for you to recoup back your losses. I would say 100,000 more, you next time might not be able to sell that price. Based on my experience in selling property, what is going to happen is that those with good facing is easier to sell, but might not promise you the best profit. Those with bad facing is very hard to sell, but might be the most profit. So to find a balance, we want to find something that is not the bad facing, but prices are close to the bad facing. That's what we want to go for. Okay, so for 3 bedroom, first choice 958. Okay, which is facing pool. This one don't need to say. Same thing. 5th to 12th long. Second choice will be the 1012. You can choose between what you like because there's different preference. Like I say, next time you sell, also same thing. There's different preference in the market. But you can see, to be very frank, all these units, there is only 5th to 12th is the most sought after one. Because you are buying at a lower price, and definitely you have a better view because you are not blocked. For 4-bedroom, 1378. This is the best choice. Even though this might be facing the unblocked view, but this is a choice that you want to definitely put your eye into, because remember, all 4-bedroom buyers are focusing on own stay. So own stay, definitely they need to feel good. Okay, so these are the 3 suggestions that I have in terms of summary for this Hillhaven itself. So if you have any things that you are not sure and you want to understand more in terms of, because I will not be able to share this whole video, I will not be able to run through every single details. I'm trying to run through as much as possible here, but if there's anything that you want to understand more and you would want to understand about Hillhaven or any other developments coming to launch in the market, feel free to reach out to me. If not, I will see you soon in my next project analysis video.